All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Fuquan Collins. I was a founding youth member of Brosis way back in 1995, the first Brotherhood chapter. And now I have the privilege of serving on the board of directors.
And my name is Elizabeth Acevedo. I joined Brosis in 2001 when I was 14 years old, and as a young person was a founder of the writing collective, Lyrical Circle. And now I serve on the board of directors at Brosis.
So I want to thank all of you for being here tonight to really show your support to what truly is a transformative and impactful organization. It's an honor to really stand before such a powerful community who really make this organization what it is. Being part of Brosis has really kind of helped shape not only my formative years, but it really shapes who I am today, both as a board member and actually in my current role as a Chief Diversity Officer at Turner Construction, the country's #1 general contractor in New York. So shout out to my Turner family there at table 30. But I can remember the first day I actually met Kari, so I'm gonna take y'all back to 1995 for a moment. So a group of us in my high school, we were actually voluntold to attend this session. Jason, who you heard from, he actually went to our high school, so he was an alumni of our high school. In all honesty, what piqued my interest was two things. One, getting out of class, and two was the snacks that Kari and Jason had. But from that initial meeting, I immediately saw the value and the impact that this organization was gonna have on my life. My parents were educators, they were socially conscious, so the information and the training that I was receiving at Brosis really echoed what I was receiving at home. Over the past 30 years, Brosis has ceased merely being just an organization for me. It is a true extension of my family. Back in 2006, when I got married, Kari and Jason were right there at my wedding. When I had my children, they were amongst the first people that I text, both for my daughter and my son. And in 2020, unfortunately, when my older brother passed away, one of the first text messages that I received was from Kari. So Brosis has truly been a family to me. Brosis taught me really how to lead with purpose, helping to define really what it means to be a man, especially at a time when mass media was trying to define that for us. You see, through its unique blend of education, mentorship, and cultural deep grounding, I learned the value for showing up for my community, and also for creating space for others to do the same. I learned that leadership wasn't just a position, but it's really about impact. How do you lift those as you yourself climb? And what truly impressed me was Kari and Jason. So as was mentioned earlier, these were two brothers that graduated from an Ivy League college and Brown University. So they were Ivy League educated. And there were so many other amazingly talented staff members that worked at Brosis. And these are individuals that could have had success in any career that they chose. But yet, they chose to lift as they climbed. They've dedicated their lives, their energy, their resources to help uplift others. And their example really left an indelible impact on me and in my career choice in my recent path. You see, back in 2005, I started with Turner Construction. I was in operations, so I was able to work on some amazing projects throughout New York City. But back in 2020, during the wake of social reform that was happening in our country, I was faced with a decision. Either I could continue my path in operations, or I can transition into more of the inclusion and equity space. And of course, drawing on those examples from Kari and Jason and the many other people that I worked with Brosis, that really influenced my decision to now go into the inclusion and equity space at my organization. That same advocacy, that allyship that Kari and Jason and Brosis taught us is now what I try to bring not only within my organization, but also in the communities where we build. And that foundation was laid right there in Harlem. It wasn't that beautiful building back in the day, but that foundation was definitely laid right there in Harlem. You see, Brosis didn't just teach me what to do, they taught me why to do it. And I think we all can agree in the current landscape of things that why has become more important than ever. So, thank you. So I sincerely want to take this time to thank Kari and Jason, the entire Brosis staff, board members, my fellow alum, where y'all at in the house, and also the current members. I truly appreciate y'all. Over the last 30 years, we've formed a special bond, a sense of family and a sense of community. But I also want to thank you, our supporters. If this is your first time attending a Brosis event, if you're not as familiar with our organization, please become familiar with us. Please become part of our family, because it is your support that enables this great organization to continue to impact thousands of lives. So thank you to you all. Here's to 30 years of transformation, and how about 30 more? Thank you.
I'm a novelist, so I'm going to begin with the setting. It's 2002. I am 15 years old, and our Harlem summer was sticky, the kind of hot where Dominicans say, "Ta que pica." Those of us doing summer youth employment in the garden with Nando had been warned before applying that this would be tough work. But I was a kid who stole tomatoes out of the fridge, despite not liking tomatoes, because I wanted to cut them open and push the pulpy seeds into a planter my mother kept on the fire escape. So gardening with instruction held an allure I couldn't shake. At heart, I will always be a campesina's granddaughter. That summer, 4 days a week, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., we built raised flower beds and planted greens and learned which produce needed to vine and which ones needed deep earth and which ones needed to be at the front of the garden and which ones would need the afternoon sun. We learned the needs of what we wanted to grow at a grassroots level. Nando put his trust in saws in the hands of teenagers, and we learned how to cut angles in wood and use a drill and power a nail gun. I remember one of our culminating projects as a group was to build a new gazebo. We worked on the hexagonal structure for weeks, and for years after that summer, when Lyrical Circle, the precursor to the Writers Collective, met on the 3rd floor, I could look out of the window and see the shelter I'd helped build with my own hands. It's a special thing to create a structure that harbors peace, that shields one from the intensity of an unforgiving environment. But that's nothing new for the Brotherhood Sister Soul. When I considered what I wanted to say today, I knew I could talk about my time with the Writers Collective, how Lyrical Circle provided, shout out to us. How Lyrical Circle provided and fostered friendships during one of the toughest times of my life, how it expanded my understanding of literature and history and culture and embedded a sense of integrity in my writing. I could talk about the summer I graduated high school and traveled to Brazil with the Brotherhood Sister Soul and enriched my sense of African spirituality and being a global citizen. I could talk about returning to the Brotherhood Sister Soul my first year after college and working as a special assistant to Dr. Susan E. Wilcox. Shadowing her that summer felt pivotal as I questioned the kind of woman I wanted to be. I could talk about the last 2 years serving on the board, how I've been financially contributing to the organization since my first job out of college, but the invitation to serve in this way feels like a gift. To nurture the organization that nurtured me. I could have talked about how my approach to fiction writing for and to young people with a sense of discipline and tenderness is guided by a mission statement Kari suggested I write 2 decades ago. Every single thing I could talk about ties back to the same idea. The Brotherhood Sister Soul is a place that plants seeds. I know it sounds cliche, but when something is true, literally and figuratively, you're just bearing witness to what is. And I can spot a master gardener when I see it. The things that are still blooming in me that Brosis planted are immense. The lessons blossom and blossom. And so thank you for letting me contribute in this small but vital way, for loving me, for holding me, for letting me return the gifts, and for teaching me how to use power tools. To this day, I'm the handy one in the house. Which, given that I'm working on my 4th young adult novel, this one, which will be dedicated to the Brotherhood Sister Soul, being able to install bookshelves is a very useful skill. Ashe and thank you.